Hi everyone, I'm Margaret Cozzo, licensed real estate salesperson with DiTommaso Real Estate. I'm licensed both here and in New Jersey, and I specialize in helping sellers price, market, negotiate, and sell with a clear strategy. Today I want to talk directly to homeowners who are trying to sell their home for sale by owner. First, I want to say this. I completely understand why a seller would try to sell their home on their own. You want to save money, you want control. You may already feel like you know your home better than anyone else, and honestly, you do. But selling a home for the highest possible price is not just about knowing the home. It is also about knowing the market, knowing the buyers, knowing how to create demand, and knowing how to negotiate when emotions and money are both involved. A lot of for sale by owners think that selling a house means putting up a sign, posting it online, answering calls, showing the home, and waiting for the right buyer. But the truth is that is only part of it. The real results come from having a strategy. That is why I created what I call the Cozzo Seller Strategy. It is a 5-step framework that I use to help sellers position the home correctly, attract serious buyers, and negotiate from a place of strength. So let's talk about the 5 steps. First step is what I call the pricing strategy. Pricing is one of the biggest mistakes I see sellers make. Some sellers price too high because they want to leave room to negotiate. Some sellers price based on what they need to walk away with. Others price based on what their neighbors sold for without looking at the house's condition, the location, the layout, any upgrades, the timing, or even buyer demand. The problem is, in today's market, buyers are very educated today. They look online every day. They know when something is overpriced. And when a home sits too long, buyers, they start to wonder, right? What's wrong with the property? Why is it sitting on the market for 40 days, 50 days, 60 days? The right price does not mean underpricing your home, not by any means. It means positioning your home where it attracts the strongest buyer attention. In a good market, the right price can create competition. Competition can create stronger offers. Stronger offers can lead to better terms. That is why I always look at the market. I always look at the competition, recent sales, what's active on the market, what's pending on the market, buyer behavior. I also look at pricing is not guessing. Pricing is strategy. The second step is presentation of your property. First impressions matter. Buyers make decisions very, very quickly. Sometimes they decide how they feel about your home within the few seconds of stepping into your home or seeing photos on the internet. When I walk through a property, I'm not just looking at the house as a home. I'm looking at it through a buyer's eyes. What will stand out? What will they love? What might make them hesitate? What simple changes could you make to your home so it shows better? This does not always mean you need to make major renovations. Sometimes it's just as simple as decluttering, getting better lighting, doing small repairs, freshening up the paint, cleaning up the curb appeal, or rearranging furniture so that the space feels larger. A buyer needs to emotionally connect with the home. They need to picture themselves living there. Presentation helps create that feeling. The third step is exposure. This is where many for sale by owners struggle. They may post the home online on 1 or 2 websites, share it on Facebook, tell some people they know. But if you want maximum exposure, it takes a lot more than that. See, when I market your property, the goal is to put the home in front of as many qualified buyers as possible, not just random people. That means online exposure, social media marketing, direct buyer outreach, agent-to-agent networking, database marketing, local promotion, and strategic follow-up. Since I'm licensed both here in New York and New Jersey, I also understand buyers that relocate. Many buyers are moving between New York, they're coming to Staten Island, or going to Jersey. That's important because your buyer may not be local. Your buyer may be relocating because they want to downsize, they want a bigger property, or just, for the school space, or you just want, a different home. The more qualified eyes we get on the home, the better chance we have of creating real interest. The fourth step is buyer psychology. This is something sellers do not always think about. Selling a home is not just numbers, it's emotional. Buyers are asking themselves a lot of questions, some of which, can I see myself living here? Is the home worth the price? Am I missing out if I don't make an offer? Will another buyer take it? Does this feel like the right move for me? A good selling strategy understands how the buyers think, the way the home is priced, presented, marketed, shown, and discussed affects how buyers will respond to your property. If a home feels desirable, well-positioned, in demand, buyers are more likely to act. If it's overpriced, poorly presented, or stale, buyers will hesitate or they'll come to you with low offers. This is why the goal is not just to list a home, but to create urgency for your home. The fifth step is negotiations. This is where experience really matters. Getting an offer is exciting, but the highest offer is not always the best offer. You have to look at price. You got to look at financing. Are there any contingencies? The terms, inspection terms, appraisal risks, closing timeline, earnest money deposit. As a seller, you need someone who can help compare offers clearly and protect your bottom line. Sometimes a slightly lower offer with stronger terms is better than a higher offer with more risk. Negotiation is it's not just about pushing for more money. It's about protecting your interest, managing all the details, and keeping the deal together all the way to the closing table. For sale by owner sellers, this can be one of the hardest parts because you're emotionally attached to your property, which is normal. But when emotions run high, negotiations can become stressful really fast. Having a professional involved helps structure and market your property correctly. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that every for sale by owner can't sell their own home, because that's not true. Some do sell their own home. But the question is not only can I sell, the better question is, can I sell for the highest price with the best terms possible in the least stressful way? That is where a strategy matters. When I meet with a seller, I provide a personal game plan that includes an estimated home value, market demand, buyer trends, a competitive analysis, pricing recommendations, home improvement guidance, timing strategy, and negotiation planning. My goal is to keep you informed and make the best decisions for yourself. I will always be honest with you, even if it is not what you want to hear. If your home needs adjustments before going to market, I will tell you that. I will tell you if the price is too high. If the market is showing strong buyer demand, I will show you how to use that to your advantage. And if you are currently trying to sell on your own, I would be happy to preview your property, no pressure. I can take a look, give you some feedback, and let you know if it could be a fit for one of my serious qualified buyers or one of my cash buyers. Because I am licensed in both states, New York and New Jersey, I also work with buyers moving across markets. That gives me a wider perspective and a stronger network when helping sellers. I'm Margaret Cozzo with DiTommaso Real Estate. If you just want to give me a call and go over your marketing plan, if you're thinking about selling, if you're a for sale by owner, give me a call. Let's connect. 917-626-1894. Thank you.